Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Once again, today I'm answering some of your questions, such as what watch YouTubers do I personally speak with and I'm friends with? And I'm also going to discuss a fantastic GMT watch for well under $2,000 that you should consider. All that and more on this episode. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my H. Moser Pioneer Cosmic Green on an H. Moser orange strap. Just a great weekend watch I wore all weekend. Absolutely love it. And also, guys, don't forget to check out DelReyWatch.com. We got in some very cool watches in stock, including this Grand Seiko Sport GMT. This is the new edition with the Explorer 2 type bezel and a beautiful green dial. Just a fantastic GMT watch that will not break the bank. We also got in a very rare and very watch geeky Vulcain President's Mono Pusher Chronograph. This vintage inspired watch with a gilt dial is a single push piece chrono, which is a very, very cool complication, and you get that vintage look without the vintage hassle. And we got in this extremely rare Cartier Central Chronograph. A Cartier chronograph where the chronograph function is on two central discs. This was part of Cartier's Hot Horology extremely high-end collection. They came out in the early 2000s, and it's a fraction of its retail price. In-house movement, manual wind, very, very innovative, just a fantastic overall piece. Anyway, guys, these are some of the questions you ask me on my Instagram account at Federico Talks Watches. A few times a month, I put up a Q&A picture. You can ask your question there. When I get enough questions, I take the picture down. Please do not DM me as, I don't really check them. But starting with Mr. Watch Addict, do you ever speak to any other well-known watch YouTubers? You're looking happy and healthy, Fed. Thank you, brother. I've spoken to most watch YouTubers at some point. We pretty much all get along. The ones I speak to probably on the most regular basis, Christian from Theo and Harris, we shot a lot of videos together. We still keep in touch from time to time. The Time Teller, Jory, hilarious guy. We've also shot shows together. Roman Scharf, we do a little bit of business together. Obviously, I've spoken to Watch Eric and run into him a few times as we're both in Miami. And more recently, Andrew, the Watchfinder guy, big fan of his work. We actually haven't spoken on the phone, but we've been exchanging messages. It's a pretty small community, so a lot of us do talk from time to time. Dimitri Psycho. Big fan from Greece. What are your thoughts on the original Daniel Roths, not Bulgari? Future investments, ? Well, Dimitri, I don't love to say when things are investments or not. I don't give investment advice, but these are super cool watches. Yes, Daniel Roth was eventually bought by Bulgari, and I do think the pre-Bulgari and even the ones right after Bulgari purchased Daniel Roth, they've certainly climbed in value. Daniel Roth, fantastic watchmaker, was an independent watchmaker. He has that famous case shape particular to him, that kind of barrel case shape. They've made world timers, chronographs, tourbillons. They were very, very undervalued for the longest time, and they've certainly gone up. And I think most independents have room to grow in the current market. So I do see a bright future price-wise for their older pieces, but once again, don't really give investment advice. Shubham M99. What are your thoughts on enthusiast micro brands such as Christopher Ward, especially after their recent Bel Canto release? Cheers and have a great one. I think Christopher Ward makes a fantastic watch, and the Bel Canto was just, a fantastic release. Overall, I like some micro brands, but you really have to be careful because a lot of them are just marketing. Some that have made some real innovative stuff, Christopher Ward, Sartori Billard, Ming, Monta makes a hell of a tool watch, but there's others that just kind of use factory parts from China. Believe it or not, there are one or two factories that pretty much make all the micro brand cases. Throw in an Etta, Salida, or Miota movement, make some beautiful marketing story, and then try and sell them to you. I think most of them are that way, but if you can get over the fluff, then micro brands can offer you great horology and stuff that's actually quite rare for a reasonable price. You just have to know how to sift through them and do your research. Arhanzo85. Hey Fed, what are your thoughts on the Tag Heuer Caliber 7 Twin Time? I've seen some decent pre-owned deals. Thank you and keep up the great work. I'm really glad you asked about this, Hanzo. So Tag Heuer obviously is a brand that doesn't get a ton of love, but I do think their Carrera line is their best looking, along with the Monaco. The Twin Time Caliber 7 is an Etta 2892, or the GMT variant of the 2892 based watch. And looking these up, these can be had pre-owned for under $1,500 in some cases, on the strap without box and papers, or even with a box but without papers. I think that's a fantastic, fantastic watch for the money. You get a true GMT watch in an iconic case, made by Tag Heuer, which I think is a good thing, but some people might disagree with me. You get that vintage look and you get the GMT function. I think it's a great travel watch. I love the size. It's under 40 millimeters. It's got an exhibition case back. The 2892, yes, it's a workhorse, but it's fairly decent to look at. I think for under $1,500 or even under $2,000, but you can find them for under $1,500. I think they're a fantastic bargain, and I really don't know many watches that are better than this, that are a GMT at this price point. IWC-RZ, what are your thoughts on stone dials like onyx and lapis lazuli? I love stone dials. I own an aventurine stone dial in my Moser. Lapis is my favorite stone dial, though it's very brittle and hard to make, but I love those veins. Onyx, less. I think it's just simply black, but it is still interesting. They also make Tiger Eye, which is cool. Stone dials are hard to find. They were very popular, I think, in the 70s. Piaget used to do them. Rolex had stone dials. They still have meteorite nowadays. Moser has had their aventurine. I think they're a very rare thing, and I think they're beautiful to look at. Yes, they're a little loud for some people, but personally, I think they bring a lot of pizzazz to a watch. Last but not least, Jimmy Page 2018. Hey Fed, longtime viewer. Simple question. Zenith Chronomaster Sport or Tudor Black Bay Chrono Panda? This is an easy one for me. Zenith Chronomaster Sport. I like the Tudor. And the Tudor Black Bay Chronograph has the Breitling B01 movement, which is great. But can you really beat a Zenith chronograph in the under $10,000 price? I mean, the El Primero is great. It's fantastic. It's one of the, it should be called El Segundo because it was actually the second one to come out. But it's an OG integrated chronograph movement from back in the day. Zenith built their brand around it. I think it's just a beautiful movement to look at. Yes, it's very intricate, not the easiest to service, but then again, neither is the Breitling B01 because you got to replace that clutch wheel when service does comes. But for me, it's a no-brainer. Zenith all day long. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And of course, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.